Hi, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
It's TFT, Tarot for Today.
Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
And
Welcome.
this is our monthly, more modality message.
Yes, we're going to get started with the cardinal signs today. And remember, the modality messages are for the three modalities of the Zodiac, the cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. And the cardinal signs are first Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Is it Capricorn? Yes, Capricorn, Earth. So basically, we're going to do a special reading for the month that's directly, how should I say, applies to these four mutable signs, or cardinal signs. Shuffle. We're in Mercury retrograde right now, which is, well, never fun.
They're shuffled.
You can draw them.
3.
4.
Well, it's your deck.
Yes, and it is the Celestial Tarot deck by Kay Stevenson, I believe is her name. Kay Stevenson and Brian Clark.
Do you want me to name the cards?
Yeah, sure.
Well, the first card is Judgment reversed. The second card is the Eight of Cups reversed. The third one is the Hierophant reversed.
Wow. They're all reversed.
I already said that. And the fourth one is the Prince of Wands.
Reversed. Well, fire signs. Let's get it going. So the first card represents...
No, these are cardinal signs.
Did I say? Oh, I said fire.
You did.
I did. I'm sorry. I operate under that fire mentality. So at any rate, the cardinal signs, Aries, the first card, it represents Aries, which is what changes will you initiate this month? And so basically for all the cardinal signs, it's Judgment's reversed, which, I think what changes you make maybe relate to some things that maybe didn't work out for you in the past, that you're digging up some things from the past that didn't work out and you're trying to resurrect them.
Well, I have a different take. I think that
Sure.
for Aries, this card means lack of interest in spiritual matters.
Oh, it's not for Aries, remember?
You said Aries.
I know, it's the position Aries.
Okay. Well, that's fine. But I do
That's
feel
all
that
right.
that goes along with that.
Okay, for the cardinal signs, it could. Lack of situate with spiritual matters, but I digress, and I still think that maybe, since this is related to changes, so basically what he's suggesting is you might be changing your approach towards spiritual matters, being less spiritual. We just heard a cat cry. Sorry. And so I am going with the tack that maybe you're resurrecting some old projects that may have failed on you in the past. You're maybe going to give them another shot. Card number 2 is what is the contribution of Cancer, how you nurture and cultivate your goals, desires, and relationships. And it's the Eight of Cups reversed. And I'm kind of thinking that as far as relationships go, you're leaving something behind.
Well, that's what it looks like, too. But it also looks like, too, like maybe you're just not applying your knowledge on what you know about these matters, or you've misapplied that knowledge. So you want to be sure that maybe your information or your knowledge is presented in the right light.
Yeah, it's really, it's a cups card. I look at it as emotion, and gosh, the cats are going nuts in the background. relationships, but it could also be, you're leaving a goal behind, you're leaving something behind. Perhaps you're maybe moving, you're making a move away from something. But it seems as though it's time to move on.
Okay.
Card 3, Libra Aries, or Libra Air. The contribution of them is how can you gain cooperation or support from others in this month ahead?
By being unconventional, by trying things that are different, by breaking the mold, by refusing to just follow the rules of society.
Yeah, and by maybe just taking a different approach. Don't your usual approaches with people, that you use to gain their cooperation and support may not work this time. It's time to think outside the box and do something a little bit different.
Right, especially with relationships, I think this would hold true, but with a lot of other matters as well.
Hmm. And the contribution from Capricorn Earth, how can my talents and resources best be put to Earth? Well, you cardinal signs,
Mutable fire reversed.
it's mutable fire reversed. Well, I would say slow down.
Well, this says also to look into yourself and be sure you can trust yourself. That maybe you think you're bringing this to the equation, but maybe you're not. Maybe if you don't really trust yourself deep inside, then you're just sort of talking through your you know what.
And instead of rushing headlong into something, how about you take a little bit of time, and do things more deliberately. If you have talents and resources to share, put them to use. Don't do them haphazardly, do them with forethought, and apply them, in appropriate manner.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me as well. So that's what we have for the cardinal signs. And now we're going to go on to, I think I'll let you, did you shuffle first last time? You
No,
did
I did not.
So I'll let you go ahead with the fixed signs. This is our maintaining balance and stability spread. And this is related to all the fixed signs, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. And each position, relates to one of the zodiac signs. And by that I mean that we have taken the position, like the energy of that sign, and applied it to the positions in the spread. Thank you. And I'll raise them out. Thank you. So card 1 is for Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. Now remember, these 4 cards relate to all of you, but this card 1 position, which has the energy of Leo behind it, what are the qualities I need to display in order to make a positive impression on others in the month ahead? And you've got the 4 of Wands, Leo. Well, do you want to take that first?
No, but I will,
Oh.
because I think what that one means is that you have to find a way to represent yourself in the best possible terms, especially in the world of social events that you may belong to, the world of friends, the world of couplings, the world of various pairings. So a lot of this energy that we're talking about is how you display that, and that means a festive mood, a welcoming mood. I see what the cat's doing over there.
I don't see.
The wire that's moving.
Uh-oh. Oh, they're here now.
Well, it was moving quite a bit. It still is.
All right, I'll take a look.
No, don't. Go on with the next one, or your interpretation.
Okay. Well, I would just say that basically for Leo, it's interesting he said that, and I agree. I see where he got that from the spirit of the card. I would also suggest at the Four of Wands that it's kind of like if you want to, what qualities you should display is you should show that you are a builder. That you know how to construct things that have a foundation. And so I'm talking in a metaphorical sense here, of course, that you know how to get things done and you know how to create things and make them happen. So prove that to people, in the month ahead.
Well, the Leo energy is also about grandiosity too. So no matter who you are in the fixed signs there, this is like wearing your heart on your sleeve. This is like really playing to the back row of the theater. This is really about a little bit of showiness.
It's a positive card, very positive. So Scorpio's contribution to the spread for the fixed signs is, what can I share with others or allow others to share with me? Oh dear.
Death and destruction.
Death and
No, not quite. But the
Yes.
Five of Swords does talk a bit about the idea that when there is conflict and strife, to some degree, nobody wins.
That is true.
So, in other words, this is really shaping the idea that maybe it's better to be a nicer person rather than being strifeful, or that resolving your differences peacefully will take you further than with spite or bitterness.
Yeah, so maybe what this is saying is what you can share with others is, to kind of, especially if it's people that maybe you're having a conflict with, is to say, it's time to lay down the swords. It's time to lay down the swords and make peace.
And we have some more swords to get through.
And we do have more swords to get through. Thankfully, they're both reversed. I think that's
good.
better. So basically, for the fixed signs, the Aquarian influence in this spread is, what role will my connections or the connections I make play in this cycle? And it's the Ten of Swords reversed. And I sense that some of the connections that you might make might be with people who can help you heal in some way, who can help you feel better about, something in your life that's really gone terribly wrong.
Well, maybe it's really dealing or talking about the people and getting the energy from them of those who have actually fought the overwhelming forces and won.
Awesome.
Tips for battle.
Tips for recovery from battle. So I don't know. I think the Ten of Swords, is kind of like the battle's done, but it's now time to heal.
Yeah, it's the reversal of what had happened before, and that basically it's time to lay down the weapons.
Yeah, it's interesting because in a way,
That's
it
what you
mirrors
said with
what
that
we're
one, yeah.
saying here. And finally, the final card for the fixed sign is the Taurian influence. How will I be able to achieve a balance between work and pleasure? Well,
Let other people's problems be their problems. Don't be involved in other people's problems if you can help it. Sometimes we want to commiserate with people, but maybe we overstep our bounds sometimes. So make sure it's an appropriate to your situation that you are feeling that or expressing that.
well, and I also think seeing the Nine of Swords reversed is telling me that I feel that, I think it's a call to you that you really do need to strike that balance right now. It's needed in this cycle, So I sense that maybe too much burdens or oppressive feelings, things that are making you feeling really depressed. Maybe you feel overstressed at work. Maybe you feel overtired. And it is time, to give balance to that other side of yourself because you'll get lost in all of this. A lot of sword energy in this reading, 3 of them.
Yeah, and that could just be saying too that this next month has a lot of strife or situations to deal with, and that you will be called upon to exert your best positive, aggressive abilities rather than your negative ones.
And I was just going to say, so the first reading for the cardinal signs was all reversals, and now we have mostly swords. we'll just have to see now what's going on with the mutable signs. So don't forget to tune in to our live streams Thursdays and Sundays. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. and Sundays from 2 to 4 p.m. all Eastern Standard Time. And tune in on Fridays to Mr. O's Emotional Exchanges. He'll have a new video this Friday.
Yes, now that Super Tarot Love Week is over, we can get back to the normal business of emotional exchanges. It's an interesting deck.
The Celestial Tarot. Well, I thought it'd be perfect for a Zodiac. Themed readings. Okay, so the mutable sign spread is called the Movement Shifting Perspective spread. And, it's kind of mutable like you are. And so it's Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo. And let's lay them out. We've got card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4. Well, it's a little bit ironic. We have, sort of mutable energy going here. Up and down cards, I think.
Another thing I'm noticing about this deck is that sometimes, even within the same suit, there might be a word to describe the card, and then sometimes there's a name or a noun.
I can't explain that.
It doesn't seem to be consistent,
No.
It is a little different.
But I do like the colors of the deck, and I like the celestial theme. And also it's also seasonal. There's summer, for example, here depicted. The Princess of Wands is summer. So basically, okay, mutable signs. Card 1 is Sagittarius's influence here. How will I need to shift my perspective during this cycle? And we have the Princess of Wands, which is the Page of Wands. And I think it's
Be open to the right messages. Be open to acting on news that's favorable, or knowing how to discern news that doesn't favor your action.
I was going to say be open to opportunistic messages that present an opportunity for growth or expansion. Be wands,
Right.
What can I say? And it's fire too. So we got fire in Sagittarius, fire. So what do we have here? We have strength in reversed in Pisces, water. And that's the image. Strength reversed. So in Pisces, water, this is how are others' emotions affecting me? Well, they're making you feel kind of weak, in a way, maybe uncertain, maybe, making you feel like you've got to hold back a little bit.
And maybe too, some others' emotions are more on the combative side. Like maybe there are people who emotionally want to deal with their situations by being more aggressive rather than being more understanding. Sometimes it's just about applying what your discernment skills are to your problem or your question. And some people want to force things to happen, and some people want to try to apply love and make it happen the way it should, or something like that.
Gemini, what do I need to know or find out to better position myself for success? And that card is the
Flexibility.
Yeah, 7 of Cups. How interesting. I know it's water influence in Gemini, but you know what? It's all about choices and decisions and really finding your direction. So I think that's what it is. What you need to know is which way to go.
Right. It really is taking the time to really look at everything thoroughly, kind of envelop yourself in those choices. And don't put pressure on yourself to make that decision in some sort of time span. let the answer come to you as it will.
And Virgo, the influence of Virgo is what kind of adjustments will you need to make this month in order to be more effective and achieve success?
Well, this is a card right up Virgo's alley, so to speak, the Queen of Swords. But this reading is not specifically for Virgo. It's for all of the mutable signs.
all of the signs.
But this is a kind of quality that to me goes a little bit with Virgoians. The Queen of Swords really talks about making decisions pretty much in a neutral way, no matter how others may perceive that. Virgos are really good at doing that, although the perception sometimes doesn't match their internal intent. But really, this is about focusing on how you can make the best decisions, how you can apply your good qualities of judgment, mutable as they may be.
Rational judgment and objective. This is very important. You have, if you want to make the proper adjustments to achieve success, you're going to have to be able to, you may want to go a certain way. You may think, but is it the right way? And if you look at it objectively, what will you find?
Well, although we are in the mutable area of the reading, the card picked is fixed air, and that really is about rational judgment, rational decision-making progress or process brought into it. So, yes, be that person.
Or try. And that's for all of you mutable signs. I'd say, Mr. O, looking at the month ahead, it looks like the mutables might have it a little bit easier than the other two.
It could be.
Yeah, so I wish everybody luck during this Mercury retrograde period, and we will be back when the sun turns to
Aries.
And
we will be out of Mercury retrograde.
And we will be out of Mercury retrograde, even more important.
Very good.
Okay, so thanks for joining us for our monthly modality message, and we hope it helps, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.